It's a 1967 Morgan 4.4, and what the 4.4 stands for is 4 wheels and 4 cylinders. Prior to the Morgan Company making 4-wheeled cars in 1936, they were making 3-wheelers up until that time, from 1909. The 3-wheelers carried on until the early 50s, and they sort of lost favor by then. So the 4.4 was their first 4-wheel model with a 4-cylinder engine. In 1968, they started making them with 8 cylinders, called the Plus 8 model, and they're nice little rockets, those cars go. It was something my wife always wanted. I've been a fan of old cars for many years and been into Mustangs and such, but never had a British car. And I knew of Morgans, but it was my wife one year that said, you know, it'd be nice to have one of these. And we went to the Canadian dealer, and he had this particular car. We took it for a test drive, and we loved it. And so that was in 1989, and we've been active with the car ever since. And it was a Christmas present for the wife that year. This is a British hand-built car made in the tradition of the coach building that they employed in the 1920s and 30s. So although it has a steel frame, it does have a wooden chassis that the metal skin is applied to. This one's got a steel skin, although some of them are made in aluminum. The belt is a traditional item on the Morgan cars. The wood goes through, it's in the doors, it's in the floors down below, wooden floors underneath. The wheel wells here, all inside, are all wood. And if we just sort of open up the tonneau cover here, you can see that a lot of the construction's wood, even from the seat back to the wheel wells to the storage compartment back here. The wooden chassis allows the car to flex, so the car will really hold the corners when you go into the curves. This particular model, the Series 5 competition model, was well known as a good competition car, and it does hold those windy little roads in Britain or here in Canada too. You would call this your traditional English cockpit. Like the car, everything's very compact in here. I kind of wear the car, so people with 6 feet and over might find it a little cramped, and getting in and out is a challenge at times. It's very Spartan, shall we say, but also very traditional. You have your wooden dash, wooden steering wheel. The door panels, they're quite simple. There isn't a lot of plush upholstery in here, and everything seems to be kind of tiny. Even the rear view mirror, the wipers, the windscreen, everything sort of matches the car's size. The controls and switches on this car aren't marked, so through experience you have to learn what they are. For instance, this one here controls the windshield wipers. Over here is your horn and your turn signal indicators, left and right. Because the engine and the transmission are so far forward in this car, the Morgan Motor Company, they couldn't put a shift ball over here. It's just too far forward to shift. This is the actual stub coming out of the tranny. So they came up with this remote linkage, a push-pull. So it's your standard four-gear H pattern. First, second, third, fourth, and reverse is way over here. But the way you're doing it, it's not down here beside you. It's in and out under the dash. It's a little bit different, but once you get used to it, it's a very precise shifter. We have to remove the bonnet strap to get in the engine here. And that's where the gerbils live. That's the 4-cylinder Ford 1500 Cortina GT motor with a Weber 2-barrel carburetor, headers, a generator, a flexible fan, and not too much else. It's pretty simple to work on. And if you get a flat tire in a Morgan, it's always an adventure. You have to dig out your jack, and this is your standard screw jack here. The way this works is you rotate the lever at the top, and the foot of the jack there goes down. And as you can see, there's a pin on the side of the jack here. You're probably wondering, where does this go? Well, there's cutouts on each side of the car, inside the car, little wooden cutouts that you remove from the floorboard, and the jack would go into the hole we drop the jack down and then line it up, and then you keep rotating until the car lifts. And to get the spare tire out, we have to unbolt it from the back. A Morgan driver is usually very independent and a little bit offbeat. They tend to be the kind of person, you know, that would like to drive around with bugs in their teeth, and often you'll see a Morganeer driving around with a leather helmet and goggles, and some of them even have them made up for their dogs or whatever. It is the actual driving. When you're on a windy little road and the car hugs the road, and you've got the wind in your hair and the hum of the motor, and it just feels wonderful.